What if some of the most life-changing wealth on Earth was not hidden in complex digital stock markets, but growing quietly in ordinary soil? While modern people chase the newest high-stress financial trend, our ancestors paid attention to the plants that provided real, tangible value, filled empty barns, and helped families secure long-term self-sufficiency. Some of these highly valuable specialty crops were once the foundation of wealthy historic estates. But today, most small farmers and landowners walk right past them without ever realizing their massive market potential. And now, modern research and shifting global supply chains are beginning to explain why the demand for these rare, specialized botanicals has reached an all-time high. Today, I'll show you 10 profitable plants that will make you a millionaire by maximizing small space growing and tap into high-value premium markets that almost nobody is cultivating effectively today. Stay with me, because number 5 thrives in shaded woodland where nothing else will grow and commands astronomical prices per pound. And the final item on our list can be grown in a simple spare room or garage with minimal setup costs while yielding a continuous weekly income. If you want forgotten plant wisdom, practical health science, and self-sufficient living ideas delivered every week, hit that subscribe button now because you don't want to miss what's coming next. Now, let's get into it. Number 1. Saffron crocus, the red gold. This is one of those crops most people assume can only be grown in far exotic lands. But early farmers knew it could thrive in almost any well-drained backyard patch. For centuries, this unassuming small bulb has quietly held the title of the most expensive culinary spice by weight in human history. Traditional growers and historical merchants recognized that a single acre dedicated to this vibrant purple flower could generate more financial security than an entire valley of standard grain crops. Historical data shows that ancient people and traditional traders valued saffron so highly that it was used directly as currency, functioning as an elite trade asset across continents. The value lies entirely within the 3 delicate, fiery red stigmas found at the center of each flower bloom. Modern research suggests that these intense red threads are packed with highly stable polyphenols, carotenoids, and volatile essential oils like safranal and crocin. These specialized compounds are heavily studied by modern science for their potent antioxidant properties and their ability to support the body's natural mood-regulating processes, causing global demand in both premium culinary fields and the high-end natural wellness sector to skyrocket. Practically, cultivating saffron crocus is an ideal venture for small-scale homesteaders because the plants require exceptionally little space and zero heavy machinery. The bulbs are planted in the late summer, and by autumn they push up low-profile blooms that are harvested by hand in the morning hours. Once the 3 red threads are carefully plucked, they are dried and stored in airtight glass containers, where they can retain their flavor and premium market value for years without spoiling. In terms of safety and management, the primary challenge is labor-intensive harvesting rather than agricultural difficulty, and growers must ensure they purchase true Crocus sativus bulbs, as other wild autumn crocuses can be toxic and are strictly not for consumption. Think of it as a literal treasure chest buried just beneath the surface of your garden. Number 2. American ginseng. The green diamond. You've probably walked past forested hillsides 1,000 times without realizing that the deeply shaded soil beneath the tree canopy could be hosting one of the most sought-after roots on the planet. Long before modern agricultural monopolies dictated what farmers could grow, early homesteaders in eastern North America supplemented their entire yearly income by searching the deep woods for this slow-growing perennial herb. Traditional wild harvesters knew that finding a mature patch of this multi-pronged root was equivalent to striking a rich vein of gold. Historically, traditional Asian herbalists and early frontier traders treated wild simulated ginseng like an essential premium asset for vitality and stamina. Old remedies and trade ledgers reveal that high-quality ginseng roots were meticulously dried and traded at premium rates to buyers who valued them for supporting long-term physical resilience during times of cold and exhaustion. Modern research indicates that ginseng roots contain a unique and highly concentrated group of active compounds known as ginsenosides. Studies suggest that these specific phytochemicals possess notable adaptogenic properties, meaning they support the body's natural processes in adapting to environmental stress and physical fatigue. For a modern homesteader with a patch of hardwood forest, utilizing a method called wild simulated cultivation is the ultimate way to build a massive asset. By planting premium ginseng seeds directly into the natural leaf litter of a sloped shaded forest floor, you eliminate the need for expensive artificial shade structures, fertilizers, or intensive daily care. The plants grow naturally over 7 to 10 years, blending in with the wild environment until the roots reach maturity and command top-dollar prices from international premium buyers. As a matter of caution, because wild ginseng is highly regulated and protected due to historical overharvesting, growers must strictly follow local conservation laws, obtain proper cultivation certifications, and always correctly identify their stock before selling. Sometimes the most lucrative investment is the one that grows completely invisible to the rest of the world. Number 3. Black truffle. The underground diamond. This subterranean fungus looks like a rough piece of charcoal, but historically it was treated like pure culinary royalty by elite chefs and historical land barons. Unlike typical mushrooms that sprout openly on rotting logs, truffles develop completely out of sight, clinging to the root systems of specific host trees in a silent partnership that early farmers spent centuries trying to decode. Ancient people and historical landowners who successfully managed truffle orchards, known as accumulated immense fortunes, because these fungi are incredibly rare and cannot be replicated in a synthetic laboratory. Traditional use of the black truffle centers on its ability to transform basic meals into multi-thousand-dollar culinary experiences using highly volatile, earthy, aromatic oils. Today, modern scientific research explains that truffles produce a complex array of unique pheromones, minerals, and organic compounds that interact directly with human olfaction, creating a sensory appeal that premium markets are willing to pay astronomical prices to secure fresh. The practical application of this crop on a modern, profitable homestead involves planting young oak or hazelnut trees whose root zones have been intentionally inoculated with black truffle spores. As the trees grow and mature over a few short years, the invisible fungal network expands underground, eventually producing high-value truffles that can be located using trained animals and harvested cleanly from the soil season after season. Regarding safety and farm management, establishing a truffle orchard requires a long-term commitment to maintaining optimal soil pH through natural lime additions, and growers must protect their orchards from waterlogging, which can destroy the delicate fungal filaments. Think of it as an underground wealth generator that pays dividends while your orchard grows taller. For wasabi root, the emerald paste, this finicky, moisture-loving plant is notoriously difficult to find fresh, which is precisely why it represents an absolute goldmine for the patient grower. Most people who eat at modern restaurants have never actually tasted true wasabi, as the vast majority of commercial products are made from cheap horseradish dyed green. True wasabi requires highly specific conditions that early Japanese mountain farmers guarded as a valuable family secret. Research show that traditional culture grew this prized rhizome along the gravel beds of cold, pristine mountain streams, using the continuous flow of clean water to nourish the roots without drowning them. It was valued not just for its sharp, clearing heat, but for its traditional use in keeping raw foods fresh and supporting digestive comfort during warm seasons. Modern research suggests that the unique power of wasabi stems from a high concentration of isothiocyanates. These active, sulfur-based compounds have been studied extensively by modern science for their robust antimicrobial properties and their ability to support the body's natural cellular defense mechanisms, making fresh wasabi an incredibly valuable commodity for high-end culinary and wellness establishments globally. For practical small-space cultivation, modern growers are successfully bypassing the need for natural mountain streams by utilizing specialized greenhouse hydroponic setups or gravel-based shade beds with recirculating water systems. By controlling the temperature and keeping the water clean and oxygenated, you can grow high-value wasabi rhizomes, stems, and leaves in an area as small as a backyard shed, tapping into a premium local restaurant market that experiences a perpetual shortage of authentic supply. When managing a wasabi setup, absolute cleanliness is paramount, as stagnant water or sudden temperature spikes can encourage root rot. It requires attention to detail and should never be allowed to sit in dry, compacted soil. It is a premium specialized asset that rewards precision with unmatched market returns. Agarwood, the scented wealth. This is a plant whose incredible value is actually triggered by an unexpected twist of nature, making it one of the most fascinating examples of botanical economics on Earth. Early foresters discovered that the ordinary Aquilaria tree would occasionally produce a dark, dense, highly aromatic resin inside its heartwood, turning an otherwise lightweight timber into a product worth more than its weight in gold. Traditional healers and historical traders across ancient trade routes traveled thousands of miles to secure small pieces of this resinous timber, known popularly as oud or agar wood. It was used to create premium aromatic oils, high-end perfumes, and traditional environmental cleansers that were reserved exclusively for the wealthiest households of the ancient world. Modern research indicates that when the tree is compromised by a natural environmental trigger, it alters its physical defense system, synthesizing a dense array of complex sequiterpenes and phenolic compounds. These highly stable aromatics give the wood its deep, rich scent and long-lasting preservative qualities which modern luxury fragrance industries rely on completely, keeping the raw material in a permanent state of high demand. Practically, modern tree farmers are maximizing this profitability by planting Acalaria trees in small woodlots and utilizing safe, controlled inoculation techniques to intentionally stimulate the production of the aromatic resin once the trees reach a specific diameter. This process removes the old guesswork of wild foraging, allowing small landowners to create a highly valuable timber crop on land that might otherwise be underutilized or unsuitable for standard row crops. For safety and legal compliance, because wild agarwood trees are strictly protected internationally, cultivated agarwood must be documented carefully with proper chain of custody paperwork to ensure smooth transactions with international luxury buyers. It is not just timber. It is a living perfume factory developing value quietly inside the bark. If this is making you realize how much old plant knowledge has been forgotten, hit the like button. It helps this video reach people who still believe useful knowledge should not disappear. And if you haven't subscribed yet, join us here for more practical plant wisdom, health science, and self-sufficient living ideas every week. Number 6. Goji berry. The longevity vine. This hardy, sprawling shrub looks like a wild briar, but historically it was treated like an essential fountain of nutritional density and financial stability by the traditional farmers along ancient river valleys. While modern consumers pay high premium prices for imported dried berries that have often been heavily processed, early homesteaders grew these resilient vines directly against their stone walls, harvesting fresh baskets of bright red fruit all summer long. Ancient people and traditional households relied on these berries to support physical stamina, clear vision, and systemic vitality during old age. The fruit was carefully sun-dried on woven straw mats, ensuring a shelf-stable source of cold-weather nutrients that could be easily packed for travel or sold at bustling trade markets. Modern research indicates that goji berries are exceptionally rich in unique polysaccharides, zeaxanthin, and specific polyphenols. Some studies suggest that these compounds provide robust support for the body's natural immune defense systems and help protect ocular tissues from oxidative stress, aligning perfectly with why traditional cultures valued them as a premier longevity food. In a practical daily routine for a modern, profitable homestead, goji berries are an exceptional choice because the vines adapt beautifully to poor, rocky soil and are incredibly frost-hardy. They can be grown intensively on simple trellis systems in small backyards or field edges, producing thousands of berries per plant within just the second year of growth. Fresh goji berries are incredibly delicate and cannot be easily shipped by commercial industrial farms, creating a highly profitable local market niche for small growers who can supply fresh, unblemished berries directly to local boutique grocers and health food markets. When harvesting, the berries should ideally be shaken onto clean cloths or picked with care to prevent bruising, and growers should ensure they are cultivating the high-yielding Lycium barbarum variety for maximum fruit production and quality. Think of it as a low-maintenance vertical fence line that yields a premium health crop year after year. Number 7. Ginkgo biloba, the memory tree. This majestic fan-leaf tree is a literal living fossil, having survived unchanged on Earth for millions of years while countless other plant species vanished entirely. Early temple gardeners and traditional foresters preserved these unique trees not only for their immense structural beauty and resistance to insects, but because the leaves contained a seasonal value that historical households gathered like clockwork every autumn. Early communities and traditional healers valued ginkgo leaves primarily for supporting mental clarity, focus, and healthy circulation in aging individuals. When the leaves turned a brilliant, solid gold in the autumn, they were carefully collected, dried in thin layers, and brewed into traditional tonics designed to keep the mind sharp during long winters of study and planning. Modern research suggests that ginkgo leaves contain a highly specialized blend of ginkgolides, bilobalides, and unique flavonoids. Studies indicate that these active compounds help support healthy microcirculation by encouraging normal blood flow to the brain and peripheral tissues, while providing potent antioxidant protection to delicate neurological pathways. Practically, establishing a commercial ginkgo grove is an exceptional long-term investment for a self-sufficient property, as the trees are incredibly resilient against air pollution, drought, and pests, making them highly suited for edge-of-property plantings. The leaves can be harvested mechanically or by hand while they are still packed with green chlorophyll in late summer, or collected as they turn gold in autumn, dried thoroughly, and sold in bulk to natural wellness processors, or used to create premium small-batch extracts for local markets. For safety considerations, the raw seeds inside the fruit of the female ginkgo tree contain compounds that can be toxic if improperly prepared, so commercial growers typically focus on cultivating male trees or harvesting strictly the leaves for wellness applications. It is an ancient monument of endurance that builds equity in your soil every single season.
Number 8.
Culinary bamboo shoots, the timber food. This giant, fast-growing grass is often viewed by modern homeowners as an invasive landscaping nightmare, but traditional land managers saw it as an incredibly versatile asset that could simultaneously build structures and feed an entire community. In historical homesteads across temperate climates, a managed grove of specific running or clumping bamboo varieties was considered a foundational pillar of economic independence and food security. Ancient people relied on bamboo for an infinite number of structural uses, but the hidden economic boom occurred in early spring when the subterranean rhizomes pushed up heavy, tender young shoots through the forest floor. These fresh shoots were gathered immediately, stripped of their tough outer husks, and cooked as a crisp, nutrient-dense seasonal food that provided essential fiber and minerals when other garden crops were still dormant. Modern research confirms that young bamboo shoots are highly packed with prebiotics, lignins, and beneficial plant sterols that support overall digestive health and help maintain healthy metabolic profiles, making fresh, organic bamboo shoots a highly sought-after delicacy in modern urban culinary markets. For practical profitability, establishing a dedicated contained grove of premium edible bamboo varieties, such as Philostachys edulis, allows a small landowner to harvest dual income streams from a single plot of land. In the spring, you can harvest the edible shoots for immediate sale to local gourmet restaurants and specialty markets, while the mature woody culms can be harvested later in the year as high-strength building timber, plant stakes, or crafting material. To manage bamboo safely and profitably, installing a simple underground root barrier or utilizing strategic trenching around the perimeter of the grove is essential to prevent the rhizomes from expanding into unwanted areas of your property. It is a high-speed green factory that produces both food and structural timber from a single root system. Number 9. Sea buckthorn. The vitamin berry, this exceptionally thorny, bright orange berry, thrives in some of the most hostile, wind-swept coastal and mountainous regions on Earth, earning a legendary reputation among early northern horsemen and traditional frontier homesteaders. Historical accounts indicate that ancient people noticed animals grazing on this thorny shrub developed incredibly glossy coats and robust physical strength, leading farmers to cultivate it as a natural fortress around their pastures. Traditional communities valued sea buckthorn berries as a potent winter shield, using the intensely tart juice to support skin comfort and internal resilience when fresh fruits were entirely unavailable. The berries were pressed for their rich oil, which traditional healers applied topically to comfort skin that had been exposed to extreme cold or minor burns. Modern research indicates that sea buckthorn is a biological anomaly, containing a rare and complete profile of essential fatty acids, including omega-3, omega-6, omega-9, and the exceptionally rare omega-7. Studies suggest that these specialized lipids, combined with a massive concentration of vitamin C and carotenoids, provide powerful support for the body's natural skin barrier repair and mucous membrane health. Practically, sea buckthorn is an ideal choice for a profitable homestead with poor, sandy, or heavily eroded soil where standard fruit trees would perish, as its nitrogen-fixing roots actively improve the earth over time. The dense, thorny bushes can be planted as a living, impenetrable perimeter fence that deters predators while producing massive clusters of bright orange berries that can be harvested by freezing the fruit-bearing branches and shaking them clean, ready to be processed into high-value premium health juices, syrups, and luxury skincare oils. When planning your planting, remember that sea buckthorn is a dioecious species, meaning you must plant both male bushes for pollination and female bushes to actually produce the valuable berry harvest. It is a brilliant golden shield that turns marginal low-value land into a high-performance wellness asset. Number 10. Microgreens. The 7-day crop, this final entry on our list, represents a complete departure from traditional multi-year orchard investments, functioning instead as a high-speed, hyper-profitable indoor asset that can turn a spare room, basement, or garage into a continuous source of premium agricultural income in less than a single week. While industrial farms require hundreds of acres of open land to grow mature vegetables, microgreen growers utilize vertical space to produce concentrated plant nutrition at a scale that defies traditional farming logic. Traditional households and early urban market gardeners often grew dense flats of young seedling greens during the lean transition weeks of early spring, utilizing the intense vitality of newly germinated seeds to provide fresh, crisp nutrition before the main fields could be plowed. Modern research suggests that these tiny, cotyledon stage leaves are not just miniature versions of mature vegetables. They are highly concentrated nutritional packages. Studies indicate that microgreens can contain up to 40 times higher concentrations of vital antioxidants, polyphenols, vitamins, and minerals than their fully grown counterparts, creating an immense, high-value demand among health-conscious consumers and high-end culinary chefs who use them as both a premium functional food and an elegant garnish. For practical self-sufficiency and immediate cash flow, establishing a vertical microgreen setup using simple shelving, energy-efficient LED lights, and clean, shallow trays is one of the most accessible business ventures available today. Varieties like sunflower, pea shoots, radish, and broccoli can be seeded, grown in a clean organic medium or water matrix, and harvested using a sharp blade in just 7 to 10 days, allowing for 50 continuous harvest cycles a year from a single indoor shelf. To ensure safety and consistent production quality, growers must maintain proper air circulation using small fans to prevent mold development in the dense trays, and always source premium, untreated seeds specifically certified for microgreen production. It is a miniature, high-frequency engine of abundance that brings the entire power of a field into a single indoor tray. The real lesson of these 10 profitable plants is that true wealth is built by stepping away from crowded, low-margin markets and focusing instead on the unique efficiency of specialized botanical systems. Our ancestors survived and prospered, not by trying to grow everything, but by paying close attention to the specific plants that offered the highest value for their labor, their space, and their time. They understood that the earth is not a static field, but a living network of highly profitable partnerships waiting to be discovered by those who are willing to learn the deep mechanics of nature. Start with just one plant from this list that matches the unique resources of your own land, whether it is a shaded forest slope for ginseng, a rocky hillside for sea buckthorn, or a simple spare closet for vertical microgreens. Learn its habits, master its unique growing language, and build your self-sufficient enterprise step by step from the ground up. Drop a comment below and tell me which profitable plant surprised you the most, or which one you are planning to establish on your own property this season. And if you want more forgotten plant wisdom, practical health science, and self-sufficient living ideas, subscribe now, and I'll see you in the next video.